Okay, our topic for today is about conductors of heat and electricity. For our lesson 1, we are going to identify material which are good conductors of heat and electricity. Heat is a form of energy. Heat flows from hot objects to cool objects. It flows from one object to another because of their difference in temperature. The cool object absorbs energy and becomes warmer. So as you can see on the picture, we have some sources of heat. We have fire and sunlight or the sun, which is considered to be the major source of heat energy. Okay, then let's define now electricity. Electricity is a fundamental form of energy observable in positive and negative forms that occurs naturally, just like lightning, or produced through generator or power plants, and this expressed in terms of the movement and interactions of electrons. Now, have you wondered how electricity were delivered from electric power plants to our homes? Yes, you're correct. Because of the process of conduction. Conduction is the process by which heat or electricity is directly transmitted through a substance when there is a difference of temperature or of electrical potential between adjoining regions without movement of the material. Okay, so we have here an example. We have conduction of heat. Okay, as you can see there is a pan being heated under fire. So there is a conduction of heat. Then the second picture shows the movement of electrons through a simple circuit. Now there are materials that can transmit heat and electricity. We simply call them conductors. Here are some examples of conductors. A pork, aluminum foil. We have a 5 peso coin, a copper wire, and jewelry made out of gold. So these materials are made out of silver, aluminum, steel, copper, and gold. And all of these materials are made out of metal, wherein metals considered to be good conductors of heat and electricity. Now, how about materials that cannot transfer or transmit heat and electricity? We simply call them insulators, just like these pictures. Okay. And these materials that you can see are made out of glass, rubber, plastic, wood, cloth, ceramic, and paper. Okay, now let us have this exercise. We're going to tell whether the following materials are good conductors or insulators. So we have a plate. Okay, tell me whether it's a good conductor or an insulator. Okay, if your answer is insulator, you are correct because this is made out of, yes, ceramic. Then this one, a copper wire. Yes, if your answer is conductor, definitely you are correct because this is made out of copper. How about this spoon? Yes, you are correct. It's a conductor because this is made out of steel. And this one, You are correct if your answer is insulator, because this spoon is made out of wood. Okay. Then this one, a diamond. Okay, a diamond is also an insulator. Very good. And the last picture. Okay, a frying pan made out of steel is also a good conductor. Okay, let's proceed now to lesson 2. Here we're going to discuss why some materials are good conductors of heat and electricity. Heat and electricity move through materials because they move through tiny particles of matter called molecules. So these free moving particles are called molecules. And these molecules are also made out of tiniest particles of matter. We call them atoms. Metals are made of atoms with free moving electrons. Electrons are the negatively charged particles of atoms that can combine with electrons. Metal make good conductors of heat and electricity because of their electronic particles. Okay, as you can see in the diagram, these are electrons, a free moving negatively charged particles of atoms, which makes the metal as a good conductor of heat and electricity. How do electron flows? On the diagram, you can see that the atoms with negatively charged neutrons are orbiting the positively charged nucleus. Okay, let's try to complete the paragraph by filling the correct word with that will complete the concept about heat and electricity. Choose the word from the box. So these are the words inside the box. We have electricity, molecules, negatively, electrons, metals, and atoms. Okay, let us now write the answer for the missing words. First, we have heat and what is the missing word? Yes, you're correct. The missing word there is electricity. Heat and electricity moves through materials because they move through tiny particles of matter. They are called molecules. Correct. The molecules are made up of tiniest particles of matters called, if your answer is atoms, you are correct. Metals are made of atoms with free moving electrons. Blank. What do you think is the word here? Yes, you are correct. It's electrons. Electrons are the blank charged particles. What kind of charged particles are electrons? Yes, you are correct. They are negatively charged particles of atoms that can combine with other electrons. What do you think is the missing word here? Yes, you are correct. Metal. Metal make good conductors of heat and electricity because of electrons particles. Now let's proceed to lesson 3. Here I'm going to explain the effects of heat and electricity on people and objects. Let's start with the effects of heat. Increase in temperature. When a substance absorbs heat, its temperatures arises. Okay, as you can see there we have a pan being heated with fire. So there is an increase of temperature because the substance, the pan, absorbs the heat coming from the fire. Okay, next. Change in state. Heat can also change the state of matter. Example here is when the ice tube are heated, they change to liquid. Okay, there are other more examples like melting butter or also melting sugar or caramelizing sugar. Okay, then another effect of heat is chemical change. A change in the heat content of a substance can cause also chemical change, just like a pork being grilled. Okay, from raw to cook. So there is a chemical change on the pork. Okay, then the last effect of heat is increase in volume. When the object is heated, they occupy more space, just like this example when you boil water. Then let's proceed now with the effects of electricity. First one is heating effects. Heating effects of electric current is used in many appliances and devices at home, just like here we have electric stove and microwave oven. Can you name other appliances or devices at home that uses electricity to produce heat? Okay, you are correct. Very good. Next, chemical effects. Chemical effects is passing an electric current through a liquid causes chemical change in the process called electrolysis. Example of this are silver plating and gold plating. They undergo the process of electrolysis that causes this material to turn into silver and gold plated. Okay, then the third effect is magnetic effect. We call this effect as electromagnetism. Then the last is electric shock. Okay, have you experienced this one? Yes, this is a dangerous effect of electricity. It can cause serious burns. It can stop the heart from beating. And also, it can interfere with breathing. Okay, so that's all for today. You may now go to your Google Classroom and answer the posted classwork. Okay, if you are using your module, you can answer the following. For lesson 1, what I can do on pages 5 to 6. Lesson 2, what I can do on page 10. Lesson 3, what I can do on page 14. And post test on page 16.